So, you bought a Mk7 GTI, and you don't even know which mod to get first. Look at you, scouring through Volkswagen Vortex with those broken photo bucket links, getting blasted on the MQB Facebook forums, and then your parents call you with the same tone as the Mk7 Reddit group talking about, don't mod that car, it's perfect the way it is, what are you doing? But you're not having it. You want to mod this car. But what's first? Intake, exhaust, diverter valve, springs, clutch? What mod should I buy first for this car? What do I do? Is there anyone that could answer any of my questions that has a little bit of experience? Anyone?
Oh, why can't anybody help me? Please!
Can somebody just link me
no use.
an opinionated video of a top 5 list for the Mk7 GTI and which mods to get in an order that makes sense and has some brief explanations? Anybody?
Behold, my son, I shall give you the district's top 5 mod list for the Mk7 GTI.
Thank you, based God.
Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe.
All right, folks, let's just get right into it. So first up, we have the tune. Any off-the-shelf tune is a great choice. I went with Unitronic back in 2015, but honestly, it was just convenient at the time, and there was a shop offering a great deal for it. So, and not that that was a bad idea. What I really recommend is just choosing a tune that'll grow with your car. For example, Unitronic is really great. We started off without the OBD tuner. Later on, they have the option for the Stage 2 Plus, which offers the support for IS-38. So, which is awesome because that's exactly what I wanted to do anyways. The tune upgrades with Unitronic are very inexpensive, but I also do recommend, APR, UM, any of those tunes. So that way you can just keep stepping up as you mod while you go down the quote unquote stage list. Fair warning, if you do Stage 1 Plus and you do have a manual car, you need a clutch. I blew mine at 6,000 miles. Do not be me. So just a warning. So aside from tune and getting plus 100 horsepower literally off of one tune, I recommend getting the P3 Gauges Mk7 vent mod. So I'm a bit late to this mod, but it's extremely important for convenience. The Mk7 P3 gauge gives you a lot of important data for the price. It can also read codes, which is awesome. The P3 gauge can also do an OBD2 scan off of like boost, which is awesome. You don't have to do the tap if you want to. You do if you want to read negative pressure and above 22.5 pounds of boost. So if you're running more than that, that's the only reason why you get a tap. I had an experience just recently buying a used gauged off marketplace, and unfortunately the panel or the LED panel on that P3 gauge was suffering from some issues with like some of the LEDs going bad. This product was 5 years old. It was literally marked March 2020. But anyways, so I hit up P3 and their customer service, thank you very much, Jake, identified the issue and shipped a replacement for me literally the same day. So outstanding company, outstanding product. Their customer service is great. I highly recommend getting that just so that way you have an idea as to what's going on with your car. Number 3 on this list for me is the downpipe. So depending on where you are, catless, catted, whichever works for you. Some places require you to get a catted or a catless downpipe. Make sure you follow all your legal, whatever it is. But it was a game changer in terms of sound. The reason why I also mention it for performance is that the downpipe unlocks the ability for you to get IS-38 with other supporting mods for that extra buck, and you can't really go wrong. I personally went with the CTS Turbo one, but any Unitronic APR, whichever catted or catless downpipe that you get, even like a track slag is great because it's huge 4-inch. You really can't go wrong with the downpipe as long as it's not the stock restricted one. And you'll see and notice and hear the sound and difference that it makes. Plus it makes your turbo breathe just a little bit more freely. So the next number 4 for mods is going to be suspension. So the stock setup is fantastic, don't get me wrong, but I have a problem and I have to lower my cars. So I went with the slightly lowered look because it just looks great on these Mark 7s. Suspension mods can range from anywhere to being like a rear sway bar and or coilovers. My first coilover setup was actually from our current sponsor, which is SoloWorks. And that ride feel was like OEM plus, which I loved. And then afterwards, of course, I wanted to go lower and I went BC Ultra Lows. BC coilovers are great. They have full dampening suspension abilities, 32A. And then after that, I went Airlift 3P with the Slam series. So yeah, it really just depends. Like if you're doing autocross and track cross, I highly recommend just getting a rear sway bar and keeping the suspension travel so that way you can go through bumps and have that movement. And if you want to get rid of some of that play or the suspension travel, I highly recommend going into a coilover or spring setup like VWR. But for me, the BC coilovers, I went ultra lows because of aesthetics. They don't ride they ride great, don't get me wrong, but like I'm used to slammed cars, so take that with a grain of salt when I say that they ride great. And then I went airlift eventually because bagged Volkswagen, bags and wheels, right? So yeah. Lastly, I recommend engine mounts. I 100% recommend the 034 Motorsports or Black Forest Industries motor mounts, and there's a lot of good reasons. These keep the motor planted. You also notice like driving dynamics start to improve. It actually kind of helps with reliability because things don't move as much as you want, or as they should. They minimize engine movement under load, so it feels solid. Even getting like the dogbo mount, it makes a big difference in terms of feel. But motor mounts is huge. Like OEM ones kind of, they help with like the smoothness and whatnot. And so really it like getting the 034 density line or the Black Forest Industries motor mounts, you can't go wrong. You want to keep the motor there for, wheel hop and keeping the motor planted. And so if you have a higher mileage Mark 7 and it's time to replace mounts, which is typically due around, I think mine was like 80K. I definitely go 034 Motorsports, especially if you're tuned, so that way you're not wearing down the OEM ones. All right, you guys, that is my list, and I want to hear from you. So drop a comment below. Let me know what your top 5 mods are in the order that you would do them. But just a quick heads up, this is all assuming that maintenance is done first. Maintenance must be done first. Modding a car without maintaining it is pointless. So get the baseline right, and then we can start building the car of your dreams. And keep in mind, if you like the video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I'll be back with more mod lists if you'd like. I'd be back with some more car tips if you like, and more interviews and whatnot are coming into the future. Plus, our District Imports website is finally released. Feel free to support us in any way, shape, or form by getting, a shirt, hoodie, or a hat. Our team is working diligently on getting us more designs that are going to be a little bit more fun and whatnot. But love to see, somebody rocking a hat or a shirt or a hoodie at the next show that we're at. And then we also have got a list of some of the places that we're going to be visiting in the future, like car shows. So we'd love to see you guys there in the East Coast. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in this time, and we'll see you on the next.